Welcome to the Truth Report. I'm Barry Nussbaum. Debbie Wassermann Shultz is the Democrat representative from Florida's 23rd Congressional District. You may remember her from the big controversy relating to her role as DNC chairwoman and the nationally publicized move to oust her right before the Democrat convention began last summer. Now, she's involved in something much more serious, believe it or not. Today on the Truth Report, we will examine the truth behind the attempt to cover up possible breaches of national security, espionage, and even congressional blackmail. The story actually broke earlier this year, but we had no idea how big it would become at the time. Wassermann Shultz was recorded on video chastising the Capitol Police for refusing to return electronic equipment seized from one of her staffers. This was part of a Capitol Police criminal investigation at that time. Here is part of that weird exchange.
If a member loses equipment, yes, and it is found by the Capitol Police or your staff, and it is identified as that member's equipment, and the member is not associated with any case, and that is their equipment, it is supposed to be returned, yes or no?
Depends on the circumstances. And if the circumstances
I don't understand how that's possible. Members' equipment is members' equipment. Under my understanding, the Capitol Police is not able to confiscate members' equipment when the member is not under investigation. It is their equipment, and it's supposed to be returned.
Well, I think there's extenuating circumstances in this case, and I think that, working through my counsel and the necessary personnel, if that in fact is the case, and with the permission through the investigation, then we'll return the equipment. But until that's accomplished, I can't return the equipment.
I think you're violating the rules when you conduct your business that way, and should expect that there would be consequences.
And should expect that there would be consequences.
And should expect that there would be consequences.
Now, you just heard Debbie Wassermann Shultz threaten the chief of the U.S. Capitol Police with consequences for holding equipment that she says belonged to her. The cops had equipment seized from her office in order to build a criminal case against a Pakistani staffer suspected of massive cybersecurity breaches involving funneling sensitive congressional data off-site. Now, the Florida lawmaker used her position on that committee that sets the police force's budget to press its chief to relinquish that piece of evidence in what could be considered using her authority to attempt to interfere with a criminal investigation. The Capitol Police and other outside agencies were pursuing Imran Awan, who had run technology for the Florida lawmaker since 2005 and had been banned from the House network in February of this year on suspicion of data breaches and theft. Since then, the investigation has blown up significantly since the Congresswoman tried to shut it down. But amazingly, in spite of the investigation and his being banned from the House IT network due to possible criminal behavior, Debbie didn't fire Awan until a few days ago as he was attempting to flee the country for Pakistan. Was Wassermann Shultz's behavior in public different or out of character for her? Absolutely not. In fact, it's consistent with her previous stunts that got her forced out as DNC chair last year. In 2016, leading up to the Democrat convention, she didn't hide her bias towards Hillary and away from Bernie. And in spite of her nonpartisan stature as head of the party representing all the Democrats, she helped stack the deck to ensure that Hillary would win. She also used the DNC chair position to fundraise for herself and promote herself as a national leader instead of promoting the DNC. She was booed at early convention meetings until she finally got the message and quit, complaining the whole way out the door. And then Hillary gave her a job on her campaign. Hillary knows how to reward loyalty. So what did Wassermann Shultz's IT guy and his two brothers and one of their wives do? Well, Debbie Wassermann Shultz employed a Pakistani IT staffer and his two brothers who were paid over $4 million over the course of their employment, even though they had been accused of a cybersecurity breach. Her personal IT expert, Imran Awan, was arrested as he attempted to flee the United States after wiring approximately $300,000 to Pakistan. When Imran Awan was arrested, he was carrying $12,000 in cash on him, and his wife was carrying $12,000 in cash when she fled the country. Imran and his Muslim brothers, Abid and Jamal, accessed unauthorized computers while acting as IT specialists. The three brothers were making $161,000, $165,000, and $160,000 each, and one of them has a criminal background. The FBI seized smashed hard drives belonging to Imran Awan from his personal possession. It seems they follow the Hillary Clinton method of destroying evidence right before the FBI shows up. Awan, who was trying to fly to Pakistan when the FBI nagged him, was charged with defrauding the Congressional Federal Credit Union for lying an application for a $165,000 loan. According to documents, he and his wife lied about a property that they owned, saying it was their personal residence instead of a rental. Then they wired all the money to Pakistan. Awan is a longtime Capitol Hill staffer who has worked as a shared employee for many different Democrat members of Congress since 2004. Most recently, he's worked for Wassermann Shultz, but was fired just a couple days ago. Awan's legal troubles began in February after he, his wife, and several other relatives became the target of an investigation called an alleged procurement scam. Their group was busted for stealing equipment from 20 House members and accessing the House IT systems without permission. So this team of IT specialists who had access to numerous congressional offices, had their passwords, and had access to national security secrets are now also charged with bank fraud and were nabbed by the FBI at the airport as they were about to flee to Pakistan, no friend of the United States. So why is this story not headlines in all the papers and news outlets? Current congressional IT aides fear that these suspects are currently blackmailing Democrat members of Congress with their own data, which was accessed through their own offices. This theory is based on the Democrat members' inexplicable loyalty to their House IT staffers involved in these probes. Despite the growing scandal, the establishment media has for months done its best to keep the public in the dark on the investigation. And that trend continued this week, even after reports broke on the existence of the FBI investigation, and even after Awan, a top staffer, was arrested trying to flee the country to Pakistan. 4 U.S. Congress members from New York City employed these same Capitol Hill techies that are now being probed for equipment theft and possible breaches of the House computer network. 3 of the 5 IT staffers worked at different times for the following representatives: Gregory Meeks, Yvette Clark, and also Hakeem Jeffries. And lastly, one of the staffers worked for Joseph Crowley. He's the Queens Democratic Party chairman. It's not known if the investigation by the U.S. Capitol Police involves the theft of classified information, but the IT ring includes the 3 brothers, who we've mentioned, and Imran's wife, Hina Alvi. And the 5th, Rock Abbas, is unrelated to the family. All are from Virginia and all worked in the 4 New York Democrats' offices in Washington, D.C. By the way, not one of these congressmen is talking to the press, and thus far are all declining to comment on what secrets might have been accessed from their computer networks and possibly shared with unfriendly foreign governments. Wow. Stay in touch, America. We'll follow up on this story as it develops. You can write to me directly by sending me an email to barry@americantruthproject.org and go to our website where you can sign up to be on our mailing list so you never miss an important episode. And it's free. You can handle the truth, America, and we intend to bring it to you. I'm Barry Nussbaum.